Hi girls, I'm just going to take a look at the next two calculations, which is example 8 and 9, and they're taking a look at theoretical and percentage yield, and they're kind of the same thing. We would have taken a look at these examples, and let me just see if I can get this to work a little bit better for me. We would have taken a look at these examples when we did, for example, the prep of benzoic acid. We would have done a theoretical yield and a percentage yield, and when we did the production of soap. So we have done these before, but this is just a pure calculation. Okay, so example 8, the iron ore Fe2O3 is reacted with carbon monoxide in a blast furnace. How much iron can theoretically be made from Fe2O3? So you're taking Fe2O3 and it's telling you that you're reacting that with carbon monoxide, and it's asking you roughly how much iron you can produce. Okay, so I've got 2 moles here, so I'm going to make 2 here. So the ratio here is 1:2. So your key for all of these ones will be ratio. Okay, so you need to find ratios. Okay, so if you take a look here, how much did you start with? It tells you started with a kilogram, which is a huge number, but this is an actual exam style question. This came up with carbon monoxide before. So you're starting with 1,000 grams or a kilogram, so you can convert that to moles. Okay, so 1 mole of Fe2O3 is 160 grams. You didn't have 160 grams, so it's 1 divided by 160 and multiplied by 1,000. And when you work that out, you get 6.25 moles of the starting material. Now the ratio is a 1:2 ratio, so you're going to make twice that amount of the product potentially. Okay, so that's 12.5 moles. That's my theoretical yield, and now I'm going to change my theoretical yield to grams because we would normally weigh stuff rather than work out moles. So 1 mole of iron is 56 grams, and now I have 12.5 moles of it. So it's 12.5 multiplied by 56, which is 700 grams of iron. And theoretically, if I did the experiment perfect, that's how much I should make. You'll find then that you'll always make less than this. So, for example, in this question, you could have had 500 and you'll be changing that to a percentage, which is what the next question is going to ask you to do. If we take a look at example 9, then it's taking it another level to do this and then get a percentage yield. Okay, so this time you have 12 grams of ethanoic acid reacts with 4.6 grams of ethanol. So this is one of the experiments that was taken off the course, but the theory remains. So you're reacting a carboxylic acid with an alcohol, and you're producing the ester, and the ester is CH3COOC2H5, and you're making water. Okay, and again the ratio here now is 1:1:1. So it's saying that you're starting with 12 grams of this, you're starting with 4.6 grams of this, and you make 6 grams of this to the end. Okay, now if everything is fair, when you do this question, these should all be equal in terms of moles. But what you often find, I don't know if everything is coming through there, girls, okay, is that you need to convert all of these to moles. Okay, so you're starting with what 1 mole of the ethanoic acid is, and 1 mole of the ethanoic acid is 60 grams. So your 12 grams then, it's 1 divided by 60 multiplied by 12, so that's 0.2 moles. And if this is right, this should be 0.2 moles too. So we're just going to check. So 1 mole of ethanol is 46 grams. And so it's 1 divided by 46 and multiplied by 4.6, and it's 0.1 moles. Now they should be the same because we've just said at the top the ratio is 1:1:1. But just because the ratio says that it's 1:1:1 doesn't mean that's exactly what you put in. So what I'm saying is, here is a case where you've got a limiting reagent, and this is the one that dictates the maximum amount of product you can make. Because if I had, for example, 2 left shoes and 1 right shoe, the maximum amount of pairs of shoes I can make is 1. I'll have a spare left shoe, but it's useless because I can't make a pair of shoes out of it. So this is called the limiting reagent. Okay, and this one here is the limiting reagent. Whichever has the lowest moles in the reactants is the limiting reagent. So the max amount of product that I can make is 0.1 moles. Okay, so then I go from there and try to work out what one that would be. So I'm saying 1 mole of the CH3COOC2H5, and that is equal to 88 grams, and I made 0.1 mole of it maximum, so it's 0.1 multiplied by 88. So I should have made 8.8 grams, theoretically. Okay, didn't. So now I'm going to change that to a percentage. Okay, so to change it to a percentage, then it's what did I actually make, which was 6 grams, divided by what I should have made, 8.8, and multiplied by 100 over 1, and it's 68.2%. Okay, these calculations do come up, and they do come up. You could see them in a question 11 where you're probably not going to go. The option questions toward the end of the paper. But you could see it as a part of an experimental question as well, or an organics question, which means that you do need to take a look at them if you're planning on taking a look at that particular question. Okay, so in your textbook then, so it's going to be page 458, you're going to do question 24.3 to 24.5. I'm only giving you 2, and there's a reason for that, so it's not my generous nature, even though I can be generous sometimes. It's because you will struggle with these ones, and the reason you'll struggle is because they've taken away those 2 experiments where we would have done 4 experiments with the limiting reagents and percentage yields, and you've only actually done 2. So it is a bit more challenging, and every year people will struggle with them. So I'll just give you 3 to get started. We don't normally have science or chemistry, I should say, on Wednesday, so the due date for this won't be until Thursday at 4. All right. And I'll come back and talk to you at that particular point. Sarah might have sent out a text message. I'm having difficulty occasionally with my Wi-Fi because I accidentally spilt a glass of water on the modem, so I think it's dried out and I think it's working again. So I shouldn't have any issues. But if I'm not getting back to you quick enough, if you send me a personal message or an email, that's the reason. So you don't need to message me a second time. I will get to you, but if I don't get back straight away, that's why. Okay. But hopefully I fixed it now. Otherwise I don't know what I'll do, but fingers crossed it's working. All right, best luck, girls. Take care of yourselves, mind yourselves. Try not to be too stressed in terms of this workload. If it is too stressing, let me know. And as long as you've engaged with me somewhere along the line, and there's a couple of you who haven't, and I had to send your names on to Miss Dollar today, and I apologise for that, but you need to engage with me and let me know why you're not sending me work if you're not sending me work. As long as you have a reason, I don't care really. It's your workload and it's your issue. But if you're not engaging with me at all, I am concerned. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.